I'm going to get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's going to tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
Okay, I am pulling up the data here. Here we go. All right. I think I got everything I need. All right, real quick. So, just did a video for a client, but he is not the only one who expressed his concerns over engineering, or more specifically, computer science and tech related jobs and tech related degrees. Now, he's already been working in the field for a bit, and he was looking at going to get an MBA, and people are laying off, and H-1B visas, and all this other stuff. But he is not the only voice out there of people saying, hey, man, there's a tech recession. I majored in IT, computer networking, or programmer, or I'm in computer science, or whatever else have you. And it's hard finding jobs, or it ain't as easy as it used to be. I am reconsidering my major, or was this a mistake? And what I wanted to do was talk about this because my main concern is that those of you out there who are pursuing careers in tech, let's just say, whether it's IT or programming or whatever, long term, it's a good career, but like anywhere else, uh, which you probably are unaware of because this is the first recession many of you have faced, every field, every profession, every industry, and every economy, they enter periods of recession, or where things slow down, or there's a bunch of layoffs. And I want to read this article here to give you guys the context and idea, because back when, okay, let me tell you a story. Right? Time to tell you a story. Uncle Cappy's going to tell a story. Graduated in 97, right? Could not find a job to save my life because I went to a shitty school called the Carlson School of Management, which you'd never go to. Anyway, things were okay. I started doing all right around 98. Ended up working at a .com firm. And then if you don't know, there was the .com bubble that burst. And I had already quit my job before this company went belly up because it was a scam company. And I ended up working security. Started 98, was working security in college, went back 98, 99 or so, working security as well. And essentially, aside for that first year, which was not spectacular and the economy wasn't necessarily booming, you could graduate into recessions. Now, this doesn't mean your choice of degree was bad. It's just sometimes you got bad luck and you're dumped out into recession. And we're not officially in a recession right now. That requires 2 contracted quarters of economic growth. But you could graduate into slow economic times or bad economic times where it's not booming. Or, which is also the case, your particular industry is going through a recession, whereas the rest of the economy may not be. And for those of you who chose computer engineering, computer science, the world of tech, you may be reconsidering your choice. Oh, did I make the right choice? Oh, did I waste my time and my life? And I wanted to say no, but I also want to tell you, hey, I wouldn't necessarily give up on that career either. Because you put all that time and effort into it. And to keep a career going, a profession going during a recessionary time is hard to do. Like, stay up in your skills, work some kind of token job, But I'd hate to see it where, due to normal recessionary cycles, regular expansion and contraction of industries, a lot of you abandon what is long term, probably your very good degree and a very good career because you of bad timing. You're graduating into a recession, or this is your first recession. What the fuck? And there's a really good article written by Forbes here I want to read to kind of give you the context of what kind of, if you've come into tech in the past even 5 years, it was kind of on steroids. It was kind of bubbly to begin with. So let's go ahead and read this here. The Great Tech Reset, unpacking the layoff surge of 2024. In a stunning reversal, the tech industry, once the unstoppable engine of modern innovation, has laid off over 124,000 workers in 2024 alone. Let me take a look. Tech workers in U.S. 5.2 million. Okay. But so this, yeah, are they hiring a lot more people now? No, they're not. They're actually laying people off. But 125,000, admittedly, in 1 year out of 5.1 million, that's not, I bet you we're not even coming close to the dot-com crash of the late 90s. What's driving this wave of layoffs, and what does it mean for the future work in one of the world's most dynamic sectors? The layoff landscape. In August of 2020, Intel sent shockwaves through the market by announcing a 15% reduction in its global workforce, roughly 15,000 jobs. Just days later, Cisco System announced plans to lay off 7% of its employees, marking its second round of job cuts this year as the company shifts focus to rapidly growing areas like artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Earlier in February 2024, Cisco laid off more than 4,000 employees. These are not isolated incidents. According to layoffs.fyi, 384 tech companies have laid off more than 124,000 employees in 2024, adding to the 428,000 tech workers who lost their jobs in 2022 and 2023. So we're talking 500,000 on 5.2 million. All right, that's significant. That's like a 10% reduction. And so it's very specific to the industry. That's a significant layoff. While the broader labor market has shown some resilience, the tech sector's cuts are partly visible due to the sheer scale of these companies. Even a small percentage reduction translates to thousands of lives and families upended. All right, so just so you know, let me give you a little bit of Gen X advice here, kids. Life is not perfect. This is being written by a journalist, and journalists are on the impression that they could actually make a living writing about bullshit on the internet from home. Life has ups and downs. There is nowhere in there's no life, none whatsoever, unless you're born into tremendous wealth, where your life will not be upended or your family inconvenienced because of employment issues. All right. So just don't, oh my God, what about the Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right. The Chinese stopped supplying us magnesium or what, and now the factory is shut down. You could complain and howl at the moon. You will go through bad times. All right. So don't have this like if you came into the economy, the labor force in 2020 with stimmy checks and work from home, and like, oh my God, they're expecting us to come back, which again, I agree with. You shouldn't have to go back. There should be no white collar work done in offices. You're right. But you have no idea how artificial and temporary and fake, especially the tech sector, has been the past 4 years. All right, continuing on. Why are the layoffs happening? A confluence of factors have created the perfect storm for the current wave of layoffs in the tech industry. One, inflation and higher interest rates. The U.S. Federal Reserve's aggressive hike rates in 2022, aimed at curbing the highest inflation rate in 40 years, have had far-reaching intended and unintended consequences. While these measures have begun to tame inflation, they have also significantly increased the borrowing and cost of borrowing and servicing debt. Companies, particularly those in tech sector, are now forced to scale back on their growth investments and hiring as they divert hard-earned cash to cover their debt obligations. Okay, when you have interest rates in the 1Z, 2Z, 3Z percent, that's not going to last forever. And it's a holdover from the housing crisis, recession, and political motivations for it and all that other stuff. That was temporary. That was like a steroid. And if you looked at what these venture capital firms were doing, they were borrowing at 2%, that SVB capital or whatever it was, borrowing at 2, lending out at 5. Gonna make billions, bro. And they lend it to shit. They lend it to fucking shit. You saw that happening in this is just .com 2.0. You saw that happening in the .com version 1.0, where companies that just had no intention of making money, just getting capital, paying corporate executives a lot of money for a couple of years, and then, oh, didn't work. It was a conscious and known scam. You would just be president and CEO, and you'd hire your buddies as chief financial officer and chief this officer. You'd all pay yourself $500,000. You sell it to doopy, dumbass venture capital groups or investment banks. They'd fund you to the tune of $5 million for 5 years. Oh, that didn't work. Bye. It's the same thing here. And it's one thing, for a firm to make a 4% profit, which you could afford a 2% interest rate. It's another thing when interest rates are 8%, you got to clear 10% in order to pay it back. And so a lot of that demand was fake. Scale back on their growth investments and hiring as they divert hard-earned cash to cover their debt obligations. The impact has been severe for tech firms that borrowed heavily during a decade of near-zero interest rates and abundant capital, leading to deep cost cuts, austerity measures, and inevitable layoffs. 2, economic downturn and recession fears. Despite pockets of strength, the U.S. economy remains on shaky ground, further complicated by the turbulence of an upcoming presidential election. Recession fears fueled by government debt concerns, geopolitical tensions in Ukraine and the Middle East, and the lingering effects of the pandemic have prompted companies to tighten their belts. In the tech industry, where profitability per employee is critical, layoffs have become a necessary cost-cutting measure as firms brace for economic concern. But their families were affected. Yes, they were. Isn't there a way where we don't have any pain and families aren't affected? You must be a liberal arts major, huh? Why do you hate black people? Every conversation with a liberal arts major ever. There we go. 3, the AI factor. Artificial intelligence is profoundly reshaping the tech landscape, creating both opportunities and threats. While AI promises to generate new jobs and boost productivity, it also poses a significant risk to those who fail to adapt. IBM's decision to cut 3,900 jobs in its marketing communications division, marketing and communications, okay? Not tech, okay? We're talking stupid people here, all right? Really, have you ever met a communications major? You spent 4 years learning how to communicate? What the fuck was the first 22 years of your life for then? Got a major in communications. Always talking like I'm asking a question. Got an MBA in marketing. Wow, they're the first to go, huh? No shit. Marketing divisions, while freezing hiring roles that could be replaced by AI, is a stark illustration of this trend. Well, I'll say it here. Only stupid people are going to be replaced by AI. There, you heard it here first. The shift towards AI-driven efficiency is forcing companies to rethink their workforce strategy. I think that is the least of your concerns. I know a lot of people, I think that concern is overhyped. 4, pandemic overhiring. This is what I was talking about. If you came into the job market in 2019 and 2020 in tech, you were like the hot girl at a fat chick party. Okay? It was a temporary environment. During the pandemic, tech companies embarked on an overzealous hiring spree driven by the belief that a surge in digital demand would be permanent. Well, that was pretty stupid now, wasn't it? In response to challenges such as the Great Resignation and the rise of quiet quitting, companies scrambled to fill positions, offered unprecedented perks, work from anywhere arrangements, and generous incentives. Firms like Meta nearly doubled their workforce only to find themselves overstaffed as the world began to returning to pre-pandemic norm. Now these companies are urgently correcting course, leading to widespread layoffs. 5, outsourcing and offshoring. None of these are your fault, by the way. And I would kind of make this illegal. I'd be like, no, you're hiring America. Well, if you want to hire in India, go headquarter in India. Bye. Outsourcing and offshoring. The American workforce may have inadvertently weakened its position during the Great Resignation and quiet quitting movements, compounded by the ongoing debate and drama over returning to the office. In response, companies are increasingly turning to in situ talent in Latin America, Eastern Europe, and the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia, where they can hire highly educated workers at a fraction of the cost. I am questioning that, not to offend all those people listening in those continents, right? I question the quality of the work. Now, we aren't exactly all that great of the quality of work here in the United States either. Show up when we feel like it, whine and complain. Family families are affected. Oh my God. I need a day off. I'm so emotionally distressed. Not exactly saying we're the bastion of rough and tumble employees we used to be in the 50s. But I've heard of some quality concerns of products, especially in the world of software, being shipped out overseas. The threat to American jobs is not only from AI, but also a global workforce that is willing to work hard, adapt, and deliver without the associated complexities. The human impact, the fallout from these layoffs is deeply personal and far reaching. Behind every statistic is a person, a friend, or okay, yeah, again, here we see the journalism major. Okay, guys, you don't have time to take this. Oh my God, this happens. Okay. Do you get pissed off at the flu virus? Do you like, oh my God, I got the flu. Donald Trump and the Republicans in the Senate are to blame. No, you don't get upset. You just get the flu. It's the same thing with the economy. Stupid people make stupid decisions and they have these big layoffs. You know, a lot of people don't like, no one considers like, well, what about when you were overhiring and paying people to go eat biscotti and film TikTok videos? Like, weren't those good times? So, 7 years feast, 7 years famine. Anyone remember the story of Joseph? Am I the only one that went to Bible Sunday school? Like, so you're like, well, weren't those good times? Did you save your money? No, you do that's how it should be forever. Again, especially if you got into the labor force past 4 years, you are under this impression like, oh, this is how it always is. No, it isn't. Uh, who may have a family to support, college tuition to pay, and bills to cover. I should grab my violin, but it's over there. These are often highly skilled professionals who now face an journalism majors. Oh my God, bad things happen. The human impact. The fallout from these layoffs is deeply personal and far reaching. Behind every statistic is a person, a friend, a colleague who may have a family to support, college tuition to pay, and bills to cover. These are often highly skilled professionals who now face an uncertain future. Let me try this. I'll try. Here's the second take. Let me know which one you guys like here. Hang on. Hopefully this works. I had it uploaded. Video background here. Here we go. Person, a friend, a colleague who may have a family to support, college tuition to pay, and bills to cover. These are often highly skilled professionals who now face an uncertain future. This wave of layoffs is reminiscent of the dot-com bust of the early 2000s, but with a crucial difference. Today's tech workers are older, more experienced, and often more deeply entrenched in their careers. The psychological and financial toll can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. For example, a colleague of mine, a seasoned software engineer project manager with over 10 years of experience, found herself jobless overnight and is now navigating the uncertainty of the job market. I, a journalism major, suggested she explore scientific opportunities in the data center, cybersecurity, and customer service outsourcing and data science industry, where there's strong demand for skilled US-based project managers. This moment calls for a great reset in how we address this crisis and prepare for the next phase of the industry. That's enough. I'm not going to go through this looking ahead. Thank you, Emil. Oh, it's a guy. Emil is a serial tech CEO with over 12 years, private equity-backed CEO, and more than 25 years IT, former CEO, Nutai, led the company. All right, this guy might actually have experience. All right. Let me get back to my notey notes here to help you kids out. All right, so again, going back to my premise, if you majored in computer science, IT, technology, whatever, programming, or you're going the certification route, I would not abandon all hope and abandon ship. This is just This is par for the course. This happens. Now, it doesn't mean that you just, you know, bust your ass off in a field where you're not going to find a job, you're not going to get hired. There's different. This is just how to weather a recession. So a couple bits of advice that I had from my days back in these recessionary days, and something that you could maybe apply to and kind of weather these economic downtimes. Right, first, don't lose your skills. If you got to do some part-time work, even if contract work, whatever, see if you could just keep a toe in it. I'm going to go from the approach that you're going to lose your job and there's not going to be a full-time job to replace it. And it ain't going to be your main engine of income. So you're going to be working some other part-time job. I recommend security. I love security. Maybe the military. If you think about joining the military, now might be a time to consider that, part-time or full-time. But regardless of where you go just to get your money, quote, get a job to pay the rent and pay the bills, still see if there's somewhere in the industry you can still do the job, because it would prevent a big gap in your resume. And you also got to stay fresh. You also have to have your skills stay fresh. I would even go so far as to consider moving. Now, one silver lining to this cloud is, yeah, there's a tech recession in California, not necessarily other places. You go to Miami, you go to Texas, where all those evil Republicans live. That's where all the California companies are moving. And unless you got a family and your spouse has like a job that's really, with healthcare and everything, kids are in school, man, get up and go. Go to where the work is. I don't know how hard of a deal it is how hard is it to move out of San Francisco? I got to imagine the smell of urine and feces, Mike. You might want to leave. Well, shoot, you don't even have to leave that far. A lot of people are going to Vegas. So that's one thing you can do. And go to where the work is, take whatever job you can, but then you're going to have to work some other part-time job, bartending, security, something. If you're currently in school for computer science or IT or some kind of related thing, spread it out, slow it down. I remember I was in a rush to get out of college. In general, I think you should take your time in any kind of college degree. There's no rush. If I were to do it all over again, it would have taken 7 years. I would have gotten some sleep, would have taken it easy, got some internships, worked, had a little bit more fun. But if you had I got to graduate, no, man, I'd spread it out. Go, take some time. In other words, swap out school for work. Try to intern. Try even a call center job. Anything. Just go get some work and take less school. Kick out your college graduation date by a year. Recapitalize on some finances. Go back home, live at home, maybe take some courses online, work a job and a half, 2 jobs, save up some money. Because what are you going to do? Graduate in a recessionary economy and not find a job? You might as well work some kind of job, any kind of job that you can get. Live at home, live on the cheap, keep a lid on those student loan debts. And then are things starting to pick back up a little bit? Okay. Especially in the world of IT or computer science, this would be a great time to be looking for certifications. Yes, I know you got to get your degree, 18 years college, triple doctorate required, quadruple doctorate preferred. I know Karen in HR, who will be replaced by AI. Thank God. But this would be a good time to start, Microsoft System Certified, A+ certification, whatever it is your field is. This would be the time to go and focus on your certifications, maybe drop out of school or scale back on school. One thing I wish I did, what recessions are a great time to do? Go have some fun. This will depend on your budget. This will depend on your finances. But the best times I ever had were during the Great Recession, because I quit my job, said, fuck you people. I taught dance classes. I worked security at night. And then in summer, I just road tripped. I drove all around the country. I'd sleep at waysides, wash in the waysides, go hiking. I just explored the U.S. I would go have some fun. Now, maybe it doesn't sound appealing, sleeping at a car, washing your armpits at the sink in a wayside. I understand that. But the guy I just had beforehand was like, I don't want to waste my 20s So I want to go to a top tier MBA program. I'm like, that sounds like wasting your 20s. Look, if there ain't no job and you got a little bit of money saved up, or your parents are kind enough to let you live at home and you got yourself a semi-reliable car, dude, go road tripping. Go check out some towns that maybe you think you might want to live in. Go explore the country. Especially now, it's fall, so it's like the perfect time to visit places that are hot. I love the American Southwest. Now, you may disagree, but anywhere where it's not unbearably hot in Arizona anymore. It's not unbearably hot in Las Vegas. It's not unbearably hot in Moab, Utah. So I'd be checking out Texas, Phoenix. I don't like New Mexico. Albuquerque's fun. I don't like New Mexico. I got a book out there called Reconnaissance Man. But yeah, if it's looking like there ain't going to be a jobs, there's going to be recession, or you've tried to get an internship and no one's hiring, that's the real world telling you something. And you know what? Maybe it's time you take a break. You've been in school since you were 5 years old. Why don't you take a gap year? Why don't you go explore? Why don't you, take some of the money you might have saved up and just go on a road trip, or stay at home, work, have fun with your friends, pick up a hobby. That's what I would have come out so much further ahead. Hell, I learned to dance. Go learn to dance. Go take some salsa dance classes, a swing dance class, like literally anything. But going, school 1, 2 classes a semester, work. But then, yeah, man, why don't you go have some food? Wouldn't it be nice to have some food? I'm still all about pick up motorcycle riding. That's what everybody could do, motorcycle riding. But something to get out there. And I would say one of the best things you could do is explore the country. So down the road, you might know where you want to live. So when you do graduate with a degree in whatever, computer science, like, well, I went to Denver would be a perfect case. That's something that looks pretty from afar until you get up close and you realize, oh, it's a bipolar hot chick. Like, look at all the homeless people who do pot. They don't have money for food or lodging, but they all have pot. You're like, oh, I thought I wanted to live in Denver. No, I don't want to live in Denver. But just traveling the country and knowing what's out there and where you might want to live, that's worth a year off from college alone. Then you're not wasting your time. Google and Facebook are in Silicon Valley. I have to go to the Bay Area and San Jose because that's where all the action is. And you get there like, why is everyone shitting in the streets? And why are they going to take a baseball bat to me if I dare vote Republican? And now you're like, yeah, I don't want to go to San. That's what all you IT people, you should all do a pilgrimage to the Bay Area. Do a road trip to the Bay Area, like during this tech recession, and go there and look around like, wow, not only do I not want to live here, but the people who run this area, including the presidents and CEOs of all the big tech companies, you got to come to Silicon Valley, you got to be here. They're all leaving. And then I'd stop in Austin, Texas, and I'd stop in Miami, Florida. Like, oh, hey, wow, look, people work here. Oh, this is nice. They got jobs. I'd stop in Vegas too, by the way. I think those are the main ones. And then only if there is a time now to reconsider your degree, all right, this would be it. If you are in the realm of IT and computer science, and just so you know, no job, no career is fun. That's a lie they tell to American women so that they believe they're actually going to make money in hotel management or event planning. Legit degrees you can actually get if you believe it or not. Right? No job is really fun. None. Right? But that doesn't mean you don't have a penchant or capacity or specialization or an ability or a knack for something. However, it's not uncommon. Oh, this makes sense. Computer science. I'm going to major in that. But it's just not jiving with you. Like, you're having a real hard go at it. And it's not that you're going to enjoy it, but you almost hate it. Now might be a time to reconsider your career and your major, so you don't waste another 2 or 3 years in college for a degree that a profession you're never not going to end up in. And here you have all the options on the table, some of which I've mentioned before. Consider joining the military. Great place to go if you don't know what to do. There's always accounting, right? There's these fields and professions that are kind of recession proof. Like it doesn't matter if there's a recession on or not, you still need your taxes done. Okay. Dentists don't really worry about recessions all that much. Maybe the more modern ones with the shit ton of student loan debt and they're charging $300 for a tooth cleaning. By the way, go fuck yourselves, all of you. But the old school ones who weren't like fleecing or putting on a strap-on dildo before their customers came in and fucked them in the ass. Those guys, like they're pretty recession proof. Like, all right, my teeth hurt. I need a tooth clean. All right, let's do that. The trades is another thing. It's wide. Can't go over all the individual trades. You might want to consider that. But it now is the time if you're not sure, if you're like, well, yeah, I like computer. It's not the greatest, but I like and I enjoy it enough. Okay, that's about as good as it gets. But if you're like, man, I really hate this, now's the time to reevaluate another career and profession. And coincidentally, link below, I have a course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career. If you were interested in what accounting was like, you can also tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour, which I know it sounds boring and kind of it is because it's a podcast about accounting, but that might be something to just listen to and kind of get an idea what accounting is like. My buddy Thor has a course. I also link to it down below about how to become a lineman. Again, that's one specific trade. You may not want to become a lineman, but there are resources out there. What I'm saying is you should go out there and research what would it be like. Dumbass contractors. There's another podcast you can listen to by Scott Wilson about what it's like to be a tradesman. And so while there's some downtime, when you're out hiking or driving across the country, why don't you binge on some podcasts on different careers and professions and do a little bit of research and evaluate it there? See if there's something that is different out there for you. And then those are kind of, if you're really worried about the recession, like you don't like the fact that the economy is going to recession, as do professions. Nothing is 100% recession proof, but there are some fields, doctors, medical degree, although that's quite an investment of time. But accountants, doctors, dentists, tradesmen, more the electricians and plumbers. Like if your toilet goes, yeah, but talk to anyone during the housing crash. A lot of the carpenters and HVAC were laid off. That's something for you to consider if you want. You don't have to like, oh, I'm going to swap out IT for becoming an accountant. Never hurt anybody to be able to do somebody's taxes, Never hurt to become an enrolled agent. Never hurt to be able to do your own taxes or do a little bit of bookkeeping. That's a nice little side gig you could do on the side. And so maybe minor. If you have I got to choose a minor. I got to figure out some courses to take for a minor. Accounting ain't the worst. Accounting never hurt nobody. I'm going to minor in poetry. Why would you waste your minor like that? So there you go. It is, I believe, temporary. This doesn't mean it's going to come back in force. Hey, Chad, you're in the Elkins is in the subscribe to this guy. He's the one with the accounting podcast. You want to do your podcast real quick in the morning, Chad? Want to bang this out so I can go tornado chasing? I'll text you here after this. Getting back to the thing. Computer science in general, the world of IT and all that, I don't think it overall long-term, it's a bad profession. It's in a recession now with 10% of the U.S. labor force being laid off and all the other things highlighted in that article. During these soft times, I would not abandon all hope in your degree choice, but I would not waste time trying to excel in my career when there are no opportunities to excel. So keep a toe in it, brush up on your certifications, slow down if you're in going to school for it. There's nothing wrong with taking 5-6 years to graduate. See if you can intern, find some kind of little side work on the side. Work a regular job and make money, shore up your finance, pay off your student loans, have a little bit of fun because it's kind of an opportunity and like, okay, one opportunity closed, but another opportunity opened up where it's like, yeah, there's no jobs or it's a very bad labor market to be applying into right now. Instead of wasting my time doing that, you know what? I'm going to go cruise the country and figure out where I want to live. I'm going to pick up ballroom dancing. I don't want you playing video games and wasting it. You should be doing something constructive that leads to you having and leading a better. I should get my finances I should set up a 401k or an IRA, that type of thing. That'd be one of the more boring things you could do. But don't let this downtime go to waste. Invest it in some infrastructural, long-term life management type of things, some of which would keep your career going along, so that when the economy comes back, when there's no longer a tech recession, you're ready to go. I know I want to live here, and I paid off my car, and I don't have any student loan debt, so I'm not financially as destitute as I would have been to take any kind of job. And and you're in a much better position to start your career than it would be if you graduated during a recession. There's now a 1.5 year gap on your resume, and HR Karen, who's the dumb fucking Quantaha, doesn't. Well, why is there a 1.5 year gap on your resume? Well, Karen, it's because of the fucking recession. They don't know that. They don't know that. HR people are truly stupid. So that's what I'm recommending. Sometimes going full throttle all the time can hurt you. And now's the time to back off the throttle and say, okay, what else can I do in the meantime to buy my time until they're hiring again in the world of tech and IT? So I hope that helps out. All right, let's go to the super chats. Paul Navarre, $2. I can't talk today. Cyber security, still a good major. I would say yes, but there's computer science and then there's cybersecurity. And depending on where you went, what your certification are, how many years experience you got, it's kind of the tech bro, cybersecurity, bro. Yeah, okay. Do you have years experience in like IT support? Because I went for computer networking, and they were telling us, like, even back then in good times, like, look, you got to go just work customer support, desk support over at Geek Squad. Take the entry level shit. You got to do a lot of self-study. I even had routers and servers that I'd test and create LANs. It's better than journalism, but you better know your shit. You can't just get the degree and because then you will be unemployed. So cybersecurity, that's a degree you get your certifications as you get your degree, and it's perfectly all right if it takes you 8 years to get your degree. And you go work. You try and find any kind of entry-level shit you can do to learn from the ground up and concurrently earn your degree. Bob, $2. How long this tech recession will last? I wish I knew, Bob, because if I knew that, I'd be a trillionaire. Don't ever ask anyone to predict the future. This is why I'm one of the best economists in the world. It's why me and Thomas Sowell are equal. Okay. I'm nowhere near as good as him. This is why I'm up there. You know why I'm up there, Bob? Because I don't claim I can predict the future like most economists can. I don't know how long it will last. Keep an eye on employment figures. Watch the news. Figure it out. Artful Clone, $5. Person at my work had heart attack last week. 3 EMTs showed up. All 3 were fat. Couldn't even walk. The fat EMTs, huh? America, huh? Oh. Couldn't even walk quickly. Person died on the way to the hospital. Enjoyed the decline. Oh, my God. The fat EMT. Dude, that's like a Saturday Night Live skit. The fat EMTs. Seth S, $5. You really need to take some classes at the Carlson School of Music. Whatever you do, I mean, unless they're going to pay for it, don't get your MBA. Don't go to business school, kids. Don't go to business school. Ken Rose, $2. Thank you. Mr. Piggy, 97, $5. So do I have Cappy's blessing to go to Argentina and get some pretty chicks? You have my blessing. Get laid. Look, let's say you're a sophomore in college. You've been in school for 14 years now, 15 with kindergarten. Fuck school. Go get laid. Famous quote from Aaron Clary. Fuck school, go get laid. Yeah, go. Look, there's no job, there's no internship. And when recession set, I know that when you're looking at internship and there's a recession, whether industry or economy wide, you're not going to be getting any real world experience. You're not missing anything. Go out, get laid. And if it was, well, why'd you skip? So I took a leap year. The recession was happening once again. And I watched this guy's video. His name's Aaron Clary. See, he told me to do this, and I follow this guy. You'll never get hired again. But just say, yeah, there was a recession. I'm like, nah, I needed to work and store up some money. And then I went to Argentina and learned how to tango. And I got laid. And if it's a guy interviewing with you, he's like, you're hired. Good man. Don't say that if it's a girl. You say, oh, I went to Argentina because my heart was broken. Stupid dumbass, to help the poor kids in Argentina because they were oppressed by Donald Trump. Oh, you're so brave and amazing. I don't like your shoes, though. My job's going to my BFF anyway. You got me right here. All right, that's it. Link below. Link to the world's greatest accounting career. Looking to get a job in accounting, which, by the way, you don't have to go to school for. I mean, you go to school, but it's online. There's no reason to physically attend. Thor's course, how to become a lineman, is also linked below. Subscribe to the Elkins Accounting Hour and Dumbass Contractors by Scott Wilson, also on the internet. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.